Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe if you like the content that I'm sharing here. And welcome back to another episode. You know, it's quite challenging to try and produce new content while it's in the full lockdown situation here. But yeah. Okay guys, so today's topic will be regarding handling mods or handling upgrades or handling modifications. So in short, it's handling mods. Okay, so when I first got the car, I did ask some advice from all the other more seasoned fellows in the car scene. As you know, this is my first toy car, so I am very new. Even until today, I am very new to the car scene. So I tak berapa pandai. So I like to ask around, and I was a bit confused why is majority of people recommending to do a performance upgrade. So performance mod to me is something that when you purchase or when you have it installed, it increases the power output of our cars. So what are the common suggestions that I got? Number one is a flash tune, remap stage 1, stage 2, or a piggyback JB4 ECU tuning. So basically everyone is saying like increase the horsepower of the car, increase the horsepower of the car. Tapi, you know, as I said, if I wanted more horsepower, I would have just bought the Golf R probably. Way enough more horsepower than I can even handle, even until this day. I think 280, 300 horsepower is still way above my driving skills. So somebody once told me as well, the point of having more horsepower, where does all the extra horsepower translate to? Straight line. Highway, that's it. From a traffic light, you have 400 horsepower, you press, you go faster. While at the corners, I guess it's safe to say that everybody is around the same speed. Let's say, for example, you go to Kuala Kelawang or you go to Sepang, turn 9. Can somebody go 100 at that turn 9? Impossible, man.
Before the acceleration down into the 90-degree left-hander. You see the elevation change as he accelerates up off the turn.
I've seen Porsche M4, AMGs, lebih kurang sama je semua orang punya speed dekat sana. But the extra horsepower you gain, the benefit is when you exit the corner and then you go straight. That's all the additional horsepower. It comes back to the point. If you have a high horsepower car but you can't manage the car well, you don't know how to take the corner, your car doesn't really manage to deliver the power to the wheels properly or manage the load properly, then sama juga. One of the few other reasons that I have started to consider handling mods is, okay, you know, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, the other alternative cars that I considered, you know, let's say the Golf R or even the Mercedes A250 or A45, they already come with a high horsepower output and high torque. So I don't think that you need so much increase. For example, let's say if I were to get a Golf R, I'm not too sure, I think it's 280 or 300 horsepower, stop. So from 3, you want to go up, let's say 360, it's still something that you can consider. You can push it higher if you want to. But I guess when it comes to Mini, partially one of the reasons that I bought the car is because I don't really enjoy driving fast at a straight line. It's quite boring. So the corners is where I, you know, prefer to be enjoying the car. And you know, big roads, especially here in Malaysia, we have beautiful roads here. And at those roads, 400 or even 1000 horsepower doesn't really make a difference, right? You can't maximize it. Since us Mini owners, we are mostly in the 200 range, early 200s. So I guess it's quite common that a lot of people want to push the numbers to 3 or, you know, even 320. But bear in mind, our cars, we have limitations, so that's why we can't really simply mod. For those other cars like, you know, Volkswagen or Merc, their numbers are already high to begin with. So kalau diorang don't want to increase it, it's fine. And because our gearbox, we have limitations to the number. So for my car in particular, is using the 6-speed torque converter by Aisin, and the power output is rated to be max at around 400 Newton meters. So dah lah, horsepower is small, and then if I want to keep modding, horsepower and torque will keep on increasing. So if let's say I were to be stubborn and still I don't care, I still want to change, I still want to increase my horsepower, So I go all out and let's say install a water mat system. I change to forged piston, forged con rod, and anything else in the engine section. And like some other brands, they can even go and change turbo. But what's the point if later on my gearbox Kong? So you have torque limitations, and there's not much things that you can be doing to the car. So what else can you do? When I tried to change all these little things that I never thought make any difference at all, for example like the bucket seat and all these customizable links and coilover. Even I didn't believe in coilover system at the time, but somehow all these things, they did not change the numbers on my dyno graph. Langsung tak ada apa-apa beza. But because the car handles better, and then you're more confident with the car, so you can actually push the car to reach more and more towards the max limit that's already rated in the dyno graph. So to me, there's no right or wrong when you want to modify your cars. Everybody should go about their own ways and what's important to them. So why is it that I said handling mods are underrated? Because generally, myself included, when I want to pay for something, I would want to see the results. I would want to feel the results. If I pay for a performance mod, let's say a downpipe change, I change to a catless downpipe, easily you can get at least another 10 horsepower, but it's still something you can see. You can see the results. You go to a dyno and then you have your dyno runs, you see the graph, oh yeah, it increased 10. If you change your downpipe and you tune the car, you can easily get, let's say, 30 or 40 horsepower in total, and probably 100 Newton meters torque increase. So of course, we are wary of our money, so you want to part ways with a few thousand ringgit and you want to see a significant increase. I totally understand that because I was there too. But let me ask you this: what happens if you have already done all of that? And what happens if you are not someone who's really interested in having that much things done, but you still want to somehow enhance your car? Because I guess, when we want to upgrade our car, the point is always to enhance the car, whether it to be faster or you want to enhance it to handle better. But of course, majority will go to the first part, which is more power.
8 horsepower. Can I get a more power, baby? A more power, baby! Testify! A more power, baby!
So this topic came into mind, as you know, in one of my previous videos, I did say I was having some vibration issues at first. Already some people say it's the drive shaft, but as you know, the cost is freaking high. And we did already visually just check the drive shaft, but it doesn't seem that there's anything wrong. So when I asked around for the original parts, per side is about 4,000 ringgit. So if I can't just change one, I have to change both. Nanti tak balance lah. I tried to change other things like wheel bearing, and I was considering if my my tires were problematic, that's causing the vibration. But then all those replaced, all those money spent, but it's still the same. It did make a difference, but it didn't make the problem go away. So then I chatted with Adrian, and he recommended that, hey, my place here, we can do a drive shaft reconditioning, so you don't have to pay or buy a new set. And the reconditioning cost was only about slightly above 2,000, about 2001, 2002 for both sides. So instead of paying 8,000 to replace both, where I wasn't even sure if that's a problem, so I went ahead with Adrian's suggestion, and I had to say, voila, it's done, everything's sorted. No more torque steer to the left, and then as he checked, there were some problems in the drive shaft. Some things were already broken, and a lot of free play was there. So after I collected back my car from Adrian's workshop in NSS Glenmary, the car felt great. I was so happy. I felt really grateful that this car is finally back to its optimum performance level. Because sebelum ni it vibrates all the way, man. It got worse and worse. So what's the point of having all that power but you can't translate it into actual driving. So yeah, do give this a thought. And you know, when I first got the car, I was also one of the few people that said, you know, I don't have to change coilover suspension, the stock suspension is enough, it's a 200,000 plus car, the suspension stock should already be good. But you know what, man, if I can turn back time and go back to 2018 and buy that coilover, I would have bought it immediately. Because a right set of coilovers tuned by the right hands gives you a night and day difference. I gotta say, I really can't wait to go back to Sepang. I want to see how much can I improve in my lap time from the previous one. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that as well. As I was talking to several different friends, we agreed that when it comes to handling modifications, not many are diving too much towards that. Of course, everybody have different tastes, I understand, but for what I'm talking about here is for those who are, you know, a bit more spirited drive oriented. We wish to enhance our car in every possible way, and I gotta say that, you know, a nice coilover gives you a hell of a difference. Like previously, even I noticed recently with my bucket seat change, my coilover change, my drive shaft reconditioning, all of that, right? Whenever I go through the same roads that I use every day, suddenly I notice that, hey, previously I can't go that fast here, or previously I will lift off the pedal earlier and brake earlier because of lack of confidence. But then all of these things being done to the car, it increases the driver's confidence as well. So yeah, so it's not just about power, folks. It's also important that you consider how the power is being delivered, you know, to your tires. Get a proper rated tires. You know, don't buy some Ecopia tires. You know, some comfort-based tires and doesn't have the speed rating that's there. You know, the load ratings is there. And suspension, yes, please. If you're already using a good suspension, yes, good job to you. And a slightly lowered car makes a difference as well. Oh yeah, talking about our cars being lowered, there's something that connects to your anti-roll bar at the front and the back. So anti-roll bar is here, and then there's a link, I like to call it the drop link, the stabilizer link. So this link is connected here, and then this part is connected to your absorber. So when you lowered the car, this thing is the same. This height of this barang, the height is the same, but then your suspension is now lowered, but this remains the same. So I'll share some photos here. I recently had that change. We got a custom stabilizer link that's height adjustable. So previously, if your anti-roll bar is positioned here, but now because your height is lowered, so this goes down, and see this part here, this pulls it down as well, because this is not adjustable. So no matter what, when you lower the car even more, the anti-roll bar goes even lower, but it's supposed to be par straight or something, so that it gives much more solid load management. Okay, so this again, as I said, some of these things might not even raise any interest to you because it's a bit too towards the handling part only, and when you spend so much on handling but you can't really see it. So I was telling some friends, if you upgrade your performance, you can see the results in paper, dyno. You can see the result from how you accelerate is way faster acceleration now, yada yada yada. But what do you get from upgrading your handling? There's only one way to see it: lap time. There's no dyno paper, there's nothing, it's just lap time. Better handling gives you better control. Better control means you have more confidence and you learn the car more, and you can push the car's capabilities towards the max possible that the driver can do. So okay, alright, so I hope this helps, guys. There's a meme going on right now, once 160 tak goyang. Jokes aside, he has a point. You have all those strut bars. It does help to reduce the rigidity of the car, body roll, and 160 bang, tak goyang. Okay lah guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care everybody. Ciao.